You're listening to That's the Industry Podcast, episode number 4. Today, I sat down with fellow friend and team member. She is such a wealth of knowledge. She also happens to be my publicist. And we talk about so many things. One of the things we talk about is why you need one in your corner. Also, we're going to address the fake influencer marketing that's kind of going around in the industry right now. And we're also going to talk about how to get access to celebrities and get paid to do brand deals. Here we go.
You're listening to That's the Industry with Thomas Jordan.
That's the Industry with Thomas Jordan.
The podcast that takes you inside all the aspects of the entertainment industry. Directly from the people who are making it happen. And now, your host, Thomas Jordan.
What's going on, everyone? Thomas Jordan here. I'm taking a different spin into the industry. Normally you see me on the red carpet, but I'm bringing you as much value as I possibly can today. We're sitting here with Kaci Pedersen of Kaci Pedersen Public Relations. Now, if you're in the entertainment business, you know PR is a must in this industry. Absolutely. And I want to hear everything about it. I want to know how you got started.
Absolutely. So this summer we'll be going into our second year. It all started basically working 9 to 5 corporate for 10 plus years, realizing I always played publicist for different companies, and there wasn't ever a defined role to really execute what I was trying to do and connect the dots for partnerships, press, media, events. So I really developed a true passion for it. And it honestly just grew from there to where I was like, hey, let me start my own company. Let me try to take on some people freelance and see how this goes. Here I am 2 years later, 8 clients later, and it's been a whirlwind.
All right. So how long did it finally take you to realize that after doing PR for everybody else that you could do it yourself?
I would say probably when I was finishing college, I was going to school and I was studying public relations as it was. And trying to really correlate what I was studying with what I was doing for a living, no matter what it was, whether I was working in a restaurant, working at a front desk of a hotel and concierge, I always found myself managing the social media accounts, planning the events, working with partnerships in the area. So it was probably about, I would say, around 2013, 14, and then I launched the company in 2017.
Is it awesome working for yourself?
It is.
Not having to answer to somebody.
It is, but you know what I want to preach to anyone trying to be a self-starter and own your own company is, although you're not having to go into an office setting and work a 9 to 5, you are constantly working. My phone might turn off and I might have a full day of peace, and then between 7 and 10 o'clock it's going. Or a Saturday night is spent handling emails or hosting an event for a client versus a night out on the town like you would if you had the weekends off from a job. So I will say it is a lot of dedication. Your 40-hour week might be an 80-hour week, and it's hard to track what is work and what is, just going along with the territory of it. So I think that's something that's been challenging, but it's also super exciting and why I love doing what I do.
And you're kind of taking over Atlanta. You've got a bunch of great clients. You work with a lot of production work here. How did you start doing that?
So I noticed when the Georgia film started booming and a lot of extras casting and things, I just said, let me get my feet wet, see what this is all about. I went on a few different sets just doing general background, trying to get a feel for what was going on. And although I didn't necessarily like that environment, I always said there was something missing in regards to really giving a footprint to the production companies here in Atlanta, or just connecting the dots to the publics here for screenings, for events, and also the location. So one of my biggest clients is Atlanta Movie Tours, which their entire company is movie locations here with Georgia Film. And luckily, it's been fortunate enough, it's been booming to where they have to constantly set up new routes, new location, new tour settings, and it's beyond just that one show or that one movie. There's a whole arsenal that they can offer. So it's been super fun. And also working for people behind the camera, setting up the lines of communication for media as well as production to the person who's in front of the camera for the main star or the actor.
I was gonna say, because in LA it's super saturated, like getting on dealing with media in general is just, it is super hard. I can only imagine what it's like to be you in your position. Even here, do you just get flooded with phone calls and emails?
I would say it's pretty sporadic. I know, on top of Georgia Film, we just hosted the Super Bowl. So that was kind of...
Just the Super Bowl.
Just the Super Bowl. That's when I had to kind of just be like, okay, really sit down and hone in. I mean, I was getting calls from different time zones. Everyone media-wise was flying in to cover the event. On top of that, we have entertainment personalities, actors, athletes, everyone wanting to engage and do activations through the NFL. So one of my clients actually hosted NFL, and the Skyview Atlanta Ferris wheel converted each gondola into a helmet from the NFL teams. So that involved a lot of NFL press. So for me, working as director of PR, managing that line of communication, it was such a fun experience. And I always say you never really know what you're doing until you're put in a situation where you have absolutely no clue what you're doing. And you really have to learn on your feet and really grow from that. So now I can say, hey, I'm not only versed in this line of communication or that aspect of PR, I've helped run PR for the NFL and during Super Bowl. So it's pretty cool. You never know what you're going to get into, and that's probably the best part of it all.
And are there other companies here in Atlanta that may be a little, because would you consider yourself like a boutique PR agency?
Yes.
So are there bigger agencies in Atlanta that, do they reach out to you? Do you guys all work together, or is it like a click thing, or how does it work?
I would say 50-50. I mean, I've had great experiences partnering and collaborating with other PR agencies. My biggest, it's my tagline in my company, is getting the PR party started. So my thing is when you're giving someone content or you're providing a client and you're trying to really work with what they're working to push, it just makes sense for everyone involved. So some of the larger agencies I've had the great pleasure of working with, I have some fan favorites in the area, I won't say names, but really awesome partners, and just to help get the message out there and help push our clients to the next level. It's not about the PR company or the publicist behind it, it's the brand that we're pushing. So I've always learned just to take a back seat and put all of my eggs in the basket of my client to push them forward. So I think that's probably the best part of it all too.
And being on the press side as well, in my experience, I almost look at public relations as like a middleman. Like if whatever event you're trying to cover has to either go through PR, marketing, or an agent or manager. Is that what it's like here in Atlanta?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I always recommend, regardless of who you are, if you're a big business, if you're an individual freelance, having a middleman to communicate the message. So I work and I play that line of publicist for pretty much every client. I always refer to myself like your, PR attorney in the sense, like my card's in your pocket. If you're getting an inquiry or you want to submit yourself or pitch yourself, and don't do it yourself. Get someone else to do it. It looks so much better coming from someone else than it will from you. Like, no offense to anyone, but
no, it's okay. No, finish what you're saying, because I got you.
Yeah, but it really does. It truly makes a difference. And even for me in PR, sometimes like having an associate pitch my company versus me pitch my company makes a world of a difference. You having that credibility of, oh, this is the person, and here's someone else who is obviously pitching and rooting for this person, having the proper press kit to pitch, having the proper branding behind yourself, whether you're an individual or a business, is very important.
Because I know you said going through yours, probably because I'm old school. So as you're saying, I was like, maybe I should change my game up a little bit, because like with me, it's just, especially in LA, where it's really hard to get in touch with some of these people or to get access to basically anything. So it's like I've had to like literally go through, if I want to get somewhere, I'm like sliding into DMs on Instagram, I'm emailing, I'm calling, LinkedIn, doing what I can, because it's tough, because I can only imagine the inquiries they're getting, and it's like I get lost in the mix. Yeah, and sometimes that can work. I mean, honestly, with the digital age, sliding in someone's DMs, professional or not, I mean, it works for some people. Yeah, it's professional. It does work, but I will say a big part for me is just doing your research. So I'll look at the biggest business, the biggest dog in the game, the biggest partnership you can think of, and I don't think, oh, this person would never partner, or oh, I don't chicken out. I'm not scared to call the 1-800 number and sit through 5 different lines to get to the person. I'm not afraid to, go straight through a media kit from 2015, trying to track down who's that director, where's the contact, like you said, engage on LinkedIn. I'll go through, and just, because to me, if you go into it blindly, you're not going to get anywhere. Sometimes it just might work out that way, but that's probably another thing that I love about it, is even if you haven't necessarily established a connection with that contact at a networking event or through a prior business engagement, going online and really doing the research, like, oh, this is the contact, this is what they do, this is who they manage, and this is the office I need to get in touch with you. It doesn't matter what network you're calling. You can get to the biggest person in the biggest office if you go down the you have to pave your own path for that. So
I love it.
No, it's tough because smaller outlets like myself and others, like it's a big numbers game right now. Do PR agents, or like I know you do your own thing and you've worked with other bigger agencies, but do they kind of see through like the whole Instagram thing that's going on right now, where everybody, it's like this person could have 100,000 followers and be verified, but then you look at their engagement and it's is everybody starting to catch on? Because I'm really hoping, because it's a lot of people I've noticed a lot of people are getting opportunities for not the best reasons.
Right. No, I'm 100% with you. And one thing in PR is always being ethical and transparent. So if I'm researching, I'm doing the backlinks on your site, I'm looking at your SEO, your engagement, I'm looking at those followers and that amount of likes or amount of commentary, I'm like, something's missing here, something's not clicking for this person. To me, it is fading out. Some people are looking into it and being like, no, not for me. But unfortunately, with the way the market works, a lot of people are just catching on to the social media trend, and they're just catching on to the social media game. So businesses are more likely to bite for that not so influential influencer, because they're not necessarily aware. And that's where I'm saying the PR professional is necessary in that regard as well, to kind of sift through the list of people wanting to engage. And hey, anyone could be an influencer. Anyone can engage.